like sometimes you'll work with a headliner who's like really awesome, right? And then you'll work with some headliners that are just kind of like, I don't really give a shit about watching you. Like, I just want to sit here and do whatever, and then go up and do my time, and then not shake your hand when I walk out. So, but they were just like stood there and like line, and all these people lined up to take their photos, and they took time with all of them, and they were reposting all their Instagram stuff like from the out in line. I mean, it was just good. It was nice to see like real genuine comics and performers. I think we need more of that.
This is Amigos PC.
If you were looking for a highbrow, fancy, smart, regal podcast with hosts that love to talk about horse riding, badminton, and trips to the vineyard, you're in the wrong place. This is Amigos PC. If you're looking for drinking, random nonsense, stunts, shenanigans, and balls out craziness, you've hit the jackpot. This is Amigos PC, and this is Scott and Mark.
It's the Amigos Podcast. Welcome everybody back. Today's guest is a failed skydiver, motivational speaker, stair climber, husband, father, and Pheonix comedian, Steve Shortbus Krause.
Thank you for calling Disney customer service. Don't get the vaccine. Look what happened to me. I'm just fucking with you guys. You can get the vaccine. I don't care. What's up, guys? How are you?
How you doing? Thanks for coming on. As we're kind of talking offline, I met you at the Trailer Trash Tammy shows just this past week and a half ago or so. Yeah. And you were the opener. Surprisingly, you actually had that joke opening up, which was a hit. I think it was more a shock to like half the crowd, and then the crowd that maybe like actually knew you or know your stand-up were laughing, because I was dying when you came up. My wife's sitting next to me. She's like, is that him? I'm like, that is hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do it. For the people who weren't there, I actually went up with a mask on, and I just started like punching myself in the face, like trying to get my mask off. And then I made it into this big old long thing, and like it was like the most like when I'm normally trying to tie my shoes kind of thing, It was tough. It was a struggle. And so once I got it off, then I yelled that, like, don't get the vaccine. Look what happened to me. And I just let it sit. I just let, like, the people, like you said, like, half of them are like, holy shit, like, this dude gonna talk like this all night? Like, how long's he doing? Like, is he okay? I think he's, like, bleeding. But I do it. I do it mainly, one, because it's funny. Some people ask me, like, well, at the end you say, I'm sorry, I'm not retarded. And, do people get mad when you say that? And, I got to remind people, like, I'm disabled. I can say that shit, right? Like, you all walkers, you can't, okay? And there was one time I did that joke, and at the end, this lady came up to me and she tapped me on the shoulder, and she was like, hey, I want to introduce you to some friends of mine. And I was like, sure, no problem. And she moved away, and there was like 12 mentally disabled people there. And I thought, shit, this is how I'm gonna die, right? Because like I was literally up there acting retarded. I said retarded, right? And I'm like, and I was kind of in awe that there was 12 of them and only one person watching them, because I don't know. You never know when those guys are gonna snap. All right, like I'm just being real. But they loved it. They loved it. I was like, they felt like I included them. and I was like signing their Fry's grocery receipts and all that stuff. I mean, it was great. It was one of my favorite memories. But the other reason I do it is because when I go on stage and I am in a wheelchair and I'm already at a disadvantage at the time that somebody sees me, right? So like any comic who goes on stage, the second they walk behind the curtain or out the door, they're already being judged. People are like, oh, who's this asshole? Like, what's he gonna tell me that's funny that I haven't heard already? And but being disabled, it takes it to another level because people's minds, it's like I said, like, is this guy gonna talk like this? Like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Like, is he just gonna tell like shitty handicap jokes? I'm like, yeah, I am, so strap in. But I do it because I try and get to that right away, right? So then that kind of breaks the ice, in a weird, twisted fucking way. It breaks the ice, but it also lets people know, hey, you know what? I'm cool with being disabled. I don't feel sorry for myself, so you shouldn't either. So you have two options. Like, you sit there and enjoy the ride, or you use your God precious given legs and walk the fuck out. So usually they stay and enjoy the ride. So, but yeah, that's why I do it. I really do. And plus, looking at people's faces, it's hilarious. I think next time I do it, I'm going to somehow record what I see up there, because there's a lot of, and then there's a lot of guys tapping their buddies like, holy shit, is he a midget? I can't wait to tell Bob at work tomorrow, kind of stuff. So, but it's fun. It really is.
You made mention that, when people come out and they're like, what do we expect? Being in the audience and seeing you do that up at Stand Up Live where we were, you could feel that. Like, there's people sitting next to me around, like, I know you, so when I didn't even know you were going to be opening, so having that treat come out, I was excited.
Yeah.
And everyone around is like, what is going to happen?
Right. And what's funny is because when I'm outside before shows, there will be people who've seen me before, and they'll start to like try and talk to me, but then they remember that opening joke, and so they won't tell their friends, and so they'll just sit there and they'll just watch their friends during the whole opening part. And normally I would actually do a couple jokes like that, and then hit them with it. But with the vaccine thing, I was just like, this is gold. Right, like just hit them with one hard, and then and it was it was fun. You could feel it, and I was the first time I did it because I had never worked with Tammy before, Chelsea Lynn. I had never met her, so I'd seen a couple of the videos and things like that that she had done before, but when I noticed a lot of like women coming to the show, like kind of that older mid-age, like kind of that range, I was just like, sometimes they don't like it. There's always one that's like, this guy's an asshole. But it's fun. I'm glad everybody gets like a kick out of it.
Have you ever had a situation where someone walked out or was like super offended or like got crazy and like was like, you're too much kind of thing?
Yeah, they're usually like special ed teachers that come to shows, and so they don't, you get one or the other. One of them is like the people I love talking to after shows are the parents of people with disabled kids, right? Parents that have disabled kids, because a lot of them are, new parents, have never had a disability in their family or just dealing with it. And just the one comment I always get is that, it's great to see that even though you're disabled, you still get up there and you still have fun and you still do what you do. And then you get the special ed teachers that are like, I have an autistic kid in my class, and you told a joke about him, and I'm just like, what's his name? Gary. I don't know him, so I wasn't making fun of that one. Like,
I don't know. I don't talk to him. I don't know.
Yeah, and it, it's. But I have had some people get upset, and it's rightfully so. But I mean, it's they can feel however they want, but I'm just not going to change who I am. I'm still going to do the shit, and if I get canceled, I get canceled. But whatever. Like, I just want to stay true to who I am.
You're a wheeling Fastpass, so.
Yeah, man, they changed that. They changed that. Some guy in Florida was renting himself out to like families and was just going to Disneyland, and they would pay him like $500 for the day, and he would go and cut them online, and then Disneyland's like, dude, yesterday your family was white and now they're Indian, or whatever. And it's like, so they ended up getting busted. So they ended up changing the whole like Fastpass thing for, disabled people. And we actually went to Disneyland right before COVID happened, because my ramp daughter, I have ramp kids. We don't say the word step in my house.
Gotcha.
Just gonna let that one sink in. That one takes a minute for people. But no, she was doing a dance. Her dance group got chosen to dance there. So we went out, and it was literally like Kobe just died. And and then COVID was coming around, and you only saw like one or two people wearing a mask, at Disney. And it was just like, you would see all the lines. And I remember, because I can't ride all the rides, and I remember sitting there waiting for my family. They were all on like Pirates of the Caribbean, and the line was like half a mile long. And I didn't have my phone, because I would have took a picture of them and been like, somebody in this line's got COVID, because it was nuts, just people walking around shoulder to shoulder. And then a week later, that changed, and I was thinking, shit, if I would have just waited a week, I would have just saved $5,000. So
for real. Yeah, before we were talking, we were saying how it's not the most happiest place. I mean, when you have kids, like when you take kids with you, it's just such a expensive fun time.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And then there's so many people there, because I used to live in California, and I remember going as a kid, and I never remember having to like stand in line for an hour and a half to get on Dumbo, right? Like, now it's just ridiculous. And then, people just running around because they get those stupid fast passes and run into people and stuff. Like, we gotta get to Thunder Mountain in 2 minutes. It's like, bro, you're at Universal Studios, dude. You ain't gonna fucking make it, okay? Like that. But yeah, cutting in line's cool. It's fun. Something you all can't do and get away with. So,
yeah. Before you had talked about, or we were talking about, opening up with Tammy, and we've been avid KUPD listeners since I can remember, and that's where we first heard of you. You frequently coming on KUPD, telling your jokes, interacting with the show and things like that. And even then, back when we first started, and I'm talking like at least a decade, maybe. You were opening for larger clubs. I think Stand Up Live just maybe had opened or had been open a couple of years. You were constantly doing like a feature or a headline or something along those lines. How does that process work when you have like a bigger name like Tammy come into town, and is it just like you have a bat phone or what?
I wish, I mean, I'd be rich, dude. I want to be living in a trailer park right now if I had a bat phone. Shit. You know, I when I first started, and I've been doing it about 15 years. When I first started, it was through a comedy class. I was doing Tony Visick's comedy class, and then through that. At that time, the only real club was, like, the big club was the Improv. And before I started doing comedy, I would go and see comics. And that's where kind of the extra push to, like, I literally remember watching Jim Brewer just destroy the room and sitting there and thinking, I'm like, man, I want to do that one day. You know, I think I have the balls to do it. You know, why not? I can't feel them anyways. Let's do it. If I get kicked in the nuts, right? And so
that's how you do it. That's how.
That's how you do it. Just kick in the nuts a few billion times.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. But then it was, the whole goal was to perform at the Improv. So then I ended up by just chance. I mean, I would go and hang out at the club. I would do some comedy contests, and you know, Dan Murr at the time was the owner, and he would see me. And then one time I got a phone call that, you know, I got to open for the very first time, and it like happened to be Russell Peters. And you know, it was like, at first it was like, who's Russell Peters? No, I'm just kidding. It was really cool, you know. I mean, it was, and pure luck. I mean, that the one time the guy I get to open for is, you know, now like, you know, one of my closest friends. You know, I asked him to be my daughter's godfather, you know, like, so then it was kind of hanging out at the club a little more and meeting some of the headliners. The one that really kind of broke it for me was Pablo. I had met Pablo Francisco. I had met him, and he was, you know, coming in yearly. I mean, Russell was so big, it was just like a random, you know, once every other year. And so I had met Pablo, and he just said, hey, you want to do a guest spot? And I was like, sure. And I went up and did a guest spot, and then he's like, you're going to do every show. And so I ended up doing the entire weekend, and then became close with him. And then once he's working with Russell and you're working with Pablo and you're, you know, doing things around town, you start kind of building some like credibility, I guess you would say. And the club would be like, okay, you know, we know he can hold his own. The headliners like him and the crowds like him. So then it just kind of, you know, started growing from that. But like the Tammy weekend, Matt Coleman, he's he's the main booker for the Improv and Stand Up Live, and every now and then I'll send him an email just saying, hey, you know, if you got anything open, let me know. And I actually found out the day before that I was going to open for her, and you know, it was awesome. I had the same feeling opening for her, and this is no bullshit, right? No bullshit. I had the same feeling opening for her that I did for Russell when I first started.
Wow.
I mean, because her crowds were like crazy and ruckus, but they were respectful, right? There's like a huge difference because a lot of them are YouTube fans. I mean, people were coming in from Kansas, like, and watching every show the entire weekend, you know, and there were people that were coming night after night, but, you know, they were polite. I mean, people were standing out in line, you know, like way down to the end, and no one was complaining. And I mean, it was just, it was a different type of crowd, you know, and they were great. And, you know, through it, I mean, I got a lot of Instagram followers now, and then I'm like, shit, now I gotta do Instagram. You know, I'm asking my rant boy, how do I, you know, do a story? I'm like, do I post this here? I don't know, dude. Like,
ramp
you know,
awesome.
yeah.
Because now I'm putting it together.
You got it now?
Yeah, I got
Rant
it.
girl.
I finally got it.
So I got two rant boys.
I finally ramped up and got it.
He ramped up and got it. There's hope. There's hope.
Yes.
but they were awesome. They were unbelievable. I've never had that many in all the years of doing comedy after, because every now and then you meet people after the shows, and like they might buy some merchandise, or oh yeah, I'll follow you, or add you, and they never do, and it's cool. It's whatever. You're drunk. I don't really give a shit, and that's why I'm not famous, because I just don't give a shit if people don't follow me. I'm kidding.
Please
but yeah, I mean, yeah, please follow me, Jesus.
Please follow Shortbus.
I gotta get out of here. You guys have no idea what I'm going through right now. I don't know if
Disneyland, guys.
Yeah, he's underneath Disneyland.
I put the happiest place on earth like as my background to hide the not so happiest place behind it. Okay. But they were a great crowd, and Tina and Libby were unbelievable. I've never done a show with just like 3 women, right? And I had thought they'd been doing comedy forever. I mean, they were just like real natural. They were real funny, and then like the second night I was talking to Tammy, and I was just like, she's like, yeah, I go, how long you been doing this? She goes, 3. I go, oh, 3 years? She goes, no, 3 weekends. I was just like, what? I've been doing this 15 years, right? And I'm the most seasoned person in here. But no, I'm just kidding. But the one thing I loved about them are who they are as people. Yeah. And that's what I was referring to earlier, before we got sidetracked with the horrors behind me. They're just unbelievably nice people. Sometimes you'll work with a headliner who's really awesome, right? And then you'll work with some headliners that are just kind of I don't really give a shit about watching you. I just want to sit here and do whatever, and then go up and do my time, and then not shake your hand when I walk out, So, but they were just they stood there and line, and all these people lined up to take their photos, and they took time with all of them, and they were reposting all their Instagram stuff from the out in line. I mean, it was just good. It was nice to see real genuine comics and performers. I think we need more of that.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I agree. We did the meet and greet. My wife was all out with it the night that we went. And yeah, she was taking pictures. Completely, it's just not what I was expecting, which was amazing. And I don't really follow her or know a lot of the content other than what the wife tells me. But yeah, as soon as I saw her on stage and she's doing her Trailer Trash Tammy stuff, you could tell night and day when before and then after.
Right. And they asked me, they were like, why aren't you out there doing meet and greets? This is why, people. You don't want to shake that shit. Hey, see that? That's like the E.T. finger half handshake, right? And I hate meet and greets, man. I love the people, but it just gets awkward. It gets really awkward. Because people will come up and try and do this, they'll go in to pound my fist, and then they'll see my hand, and then they'll halfway stop, and then I'm swinging at them, trying to hit their fist bump them, and then you'll get the people that'll go in for the handshake and then see the ET fingers, and they're like, shit, is this guy contagious? So yeah, but yeah, they were great. Meet and greets are great. I'm like, yeah, meet and greets are great,
but just not for you.
I don't mind them. Mind them. It's a lot different, though. I think for me,
part of the gig. In a sense.
Yeah. I think it's a little different for me now because I'm sober. So a lot of times at the shows I was just drinking like a fish to party with everybody, and then after the show, you just have 2 drunk assholes in the lobby, talking about what bar we're gonna go to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now it's and I like that. It was fun. It really
Yeah.
was. It was fun. Now I'm sober and I'm fucking responsible, and I got a job and a house. And
Doesn't that
hi,
suck?
honey. Now it's just kind of weird because you'll get those drunk people that'll come up to me, after the shows and just want to
Like, hey, you want a shot, Shortbus?
They don't really offer me drinks anymore. They used to.
Mm.
But I never got it when I was sober. When I started getting sober, I would tell them, I was like, "Why don't you just give me $5, dude? Like, why?" And then they'd be like, "No," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't have any cash." I'm like, there's an ATM right there, man. You just offered to buy me a $12 shot. You can give me $5.
Yeah.
So I got 3 ramp kids and I got 1 daughter, right? And I'm working from home. Okay, thinking, all right, cool. Working from home, hell yeah. Like, this is beginning 2020, right? And like March Madness is coming around. It's gonna be great. And then they shut down schools, and then I was like, shit, now I gotta wear pants in the house during the day. But I can't. I'm not a teacher, right? I'm a comedian. I can't teach. Like, I was giving my kid bonus points on his history test because the question was, who was Abraham Lincoln? And he wrote a vampire slayer. It was just like, there's a movie about it. There's a movie. It's gotta be real, And then, how did you discipline your kids? How'd you guys do it? Yeah, during, dude, I lined them up outside my bedroom and went inside and put on a shirt and tie one day, and then I acted like the principal. I told them to come in one by one. Just be like, what are you doing? What are you in here for? This is the second time you hit your sister. I was wearing my headset outside one time, and one of the neighborhood kids was riding by, and he was like, hey, what game are you playing? It was just like, it's called Responsibility, bro. It sucks. Like, don't grow up. Keep failing online English. Like,
yeah. I don't know if you'd really want to call
your
what
kids
they
game?
do gaming. It's not the gaming that we were doing when we were kids. Like, if they play Fortnite for a little bit, and the attention is, like with I don't know if I'm gonna call Fortnite gaming online. But
do they game online? Okay. I've heard the most disgusting but hilarious things come out of my middle ramp boy's mouth gaming. He's like 13, and I always know when he's banned from Xbox because he just sleeps, right? So I know he's in trouble, but I've heard some stuff come out of there. It's just like, who are you, right? He's like the sweetest, quietest kid, but then when you put a headset on him, it's just like, you motherfuckers, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, I'm just like, yeah, your mom should have killed you, like shit like that. And I'm just like, whoa, Tiger, easy. I'm like, are you playing with kids from school? Am I gonna get a call from their parents? Are you threatening to murder Billy's mom? Like, what's going on in there? Yeah. I'm not dealing with that shit, bro. So now I'm trying to Twitch.
So you mentioned Twitch. Are you trying to actually stream in? Play video games with your son, or oh
no, he won't play with me. They won't play with me. No. Yeah, how many times I've asked them? Like, I've tried to bond, right? Because it's different, because I'm not the real dad unless they need money. But and so I always ask, like, "Hey, you want to play?" You know, and then the oldest ramp boy would be like, "You suck," you know, like your hands don't work, you know, like it'd be easy. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they won't let me play with them. I've even asked, like, I even said, I was like, "Hey, look, I can't play the game you're playing, but can I put the headset on and talk to people while you play?" Like, that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. Yeah, and they won't let me do it. Nope, they won't let me do it. But yeah. So my daughter's 4, and we play a lot of Minecraft.
I tried to do Minecraft with my son, and
trying to build.
For the exception of building like a rectangle box that we could get in, I don't know. I don't get the point of the game. Like it's too it's not too difficult, but it is for me to understand it. It just doesn't. It's not appealing. I guess it's not what I was playing when I was a kid. Essentially.
Yeah. No. I mean, with my hands, I wasn't playing Legos, Lincoln Logs, blocks, none of that shit, right? So it's like, now you want me to put a bunch of boxes together and put a flower pot on them? Yeah. So what I'm trying to do, and I put this on my Facebook, is I'm trying to build the largest house in the shape of a handicap symbol in Minecraft. So I posted a picture on my Facebook at Shortbus Comedy of the foot. I got the foot done, right? Yeah. So now I'm just like building the legs going up, right? They're like the stairs. Yeah, I need a life. Yeah, that's just bullshit, dude. Like, whatever. Handicap is handicap, right? Like, it's like, if that was like a Tesla wheelchair, then I'd be like, all right, that's fucking cool symbol, right? Yeah, but whatever. A wheel's a wheel, in my opinion, right? It gets you one place to another.
Handicap symbols.
But so I'm scared to like play online. Right, because I hear my ramp boy yelling all the time, and that's how, when I hear that, that's what I think's gonna happen to me, right? Yeah. Okay. So like I have on my computer, I play like this F1 2020, like Formula One racing, right, game, and so I would do like the career mode and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. But I would never play online because I was scared. Right, I was just like, man, I'm just gonna get yelled at, dude. And that's a shitty feeling, bro. That's like getting heckled by your kid. You know, when you got a 12-year-old telling you shit that makes you want to go to therapy, that's a shitty situation, man. Like, I'm not trying to put myself in that. So I went on Twitch, right, and I created this page. And creating a name for your Twitch is like harder than naming your firstborn kid. Okay, like it really is. So like, me being the dumbass I am, I came up with like, you know, a coffee sucks, right? Just something so stupid. And so I was wanting to see what other, like, do they call them Twitchers? See, I don't even know what they're called. Like, are they called Tweech?
I believe you.
I don't know. Twitcasters. I don't know. I don't even know what they're called. So I started like following one, right? And I clicked on it, and he was playing live, and he was like, "AA battery coffee sucks. Thanks for the follow." And I'm just like, I gotta think of a new fucking name, dude. Like, all these gamers are gonna think I'm talking about batteries
and coffee.
You know, yeah, exactly.
I think they call themselves tweakers.
Is that what it? Yeah, right. Because they're just tweaking and staying up all night.
That makes sense,
right?
That makes sense. It should be called that.
Hey guys. Like,
they all live in Apache. They
all live in AJ. Is that what you said, Mark?
Yeah.
That's funny. Fucking AJ.
Good old AJ.
Yeah.
I live close to AJ. That's why but not in AJ. I'm making it. It's actually nice. Like they're trying to build it up, right? Like nice. It's because all people moving from California.
I know they're buying up everything.
Yeah.
Is the Desert Flame still there? If you know. Strip club. No. Shh. He's looking around.
I don't know.
You don't know. So it must be. It must be.
Yeah. That's funny you mentioned that place, though.
Oh, God.
That's funny.
It's been so long. It's been like 15 years since I've been there.
You went there?
I did.
God.
It was like a Wednesday.
Oh.
And let's just say it was a Wednesday.
Yeah. Which
is probably what Saturday holds for that place, too. But it was not the greatest.
Yeah, it's like leaving a Hooters just smelling like glitter and failure.
Basically, that is what Desert Flame is.
They have the A crew there all the time.
There is no A crew. Oh yeah, basically.
Yeah, what constitutes A crew? A full set of teeth? Like,
yep. A FICO score, like whatever it may be, like just like
right.
A 300 score. A pulse.
Their SAT scores.
Yeah.
They're all going to med school.
They have to be able to know their real name, not their stage name.
Right.
That could be
right.
That could be.
Well, Candy told me.
Yeah, it's with an I, not a Y.
Yeah. I remember one time I was at MCC and I was going from class to class, and this girl was walking by and she was pretty hot, and some guy was walking by her. He's like, "Hey, Sapphire!" Like, and she's like looking like this, and I'm like, now I slow down my wheelchair, right? Because I want to know, like, Sapphire, what's up with Sapphire, you know? And so then he's like, yes, Sapphire, right? From Lady Girls. And like her boyfriend or some dude was with her. And I don't think it was her boyfriend, it was some guy, and she was so fucking embarrassed, you know? And she tried to play it off, right? And then she kept walking, and the guy was like, fuck you, I'm not buying you a drink next time. And I was just like, yes, stripper.
Wow. That is awesome.
It was a fucking MCC, dude.
She's doing the right thing, though. She's putting herself through college. She's literally doing what they're supposed to be doing.
She is. God bless her.
Yes, hats off to her.
Like, I was in Vegas one time, and I just got there with my buddy, and we were checking in, and I was playing this like Wheel of Fortune type game, right? And like the thing took off, right? And this girl walked up to me and she's like, oh my god, you just won a bunch of money. And I was like, you're fucking right, I won money. I just won $35, you know? That's like half a buffet, right? And she goes you want to have some fun? I was like, I'm already having fun, right? I'm about to go see David Copperfield. And she goes, no, I mean some naked fun. Ooh. Right? And then I was like, you know, then I had to pause, you know, because this girl's probably pushing about maybe like 250, right? And like, I was like, man, my wheelchair's got like a weight limit on it. And I'm not making fun of her. There's literally, if you get under my wheelchair, there's this tag that has a fucking weight limit on it, okay? And then I was like, you know, they charge by the hour. You know, I only got $35. It's gonna take me like 45 minutes to get my pants off. You know, so I was just like, nah, you know what? Better idea. I got an extra ticket to David Copperfield. Why don't we go check him out? And we'll see if he can make about 50 pounds disappear off your ass, and then we'll talk. Nice. And it was horrible thing to say. But I think that she probably realized that her life was so far down in the dumps, and that she was probably a horrible hooker, that she had to ask a guy in a wheelchair, you know, as her last resort. You know, like nobody else, right? It's like, all right, dude, bucket list, right? Like, let's go ask that guy. And then So I'm hoping that, she went to like an AA meeting, she got clean, went to gym. She's probably in med school now, so maybe I saved her life. I don't know.
You met her at MCC.
No, you met her in Vegas.
Oh no, this one, that was
Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So she turned her life around, went to MCC. That's what Mark was saying.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, maybe you turned her around, and
I hope so. That's what I'm here doing.
Yeah, you're making
to everyone that's listening. I'm here to motivate you to stick to your dreams. Don't give in.
Give up. Don't give up.
Don't settle. I'm just. No,
that's awesome.
Oh my god.
So there are a few questions that we've been storming up on things we want to ask on our show, and if you don't mind being a guinea pig for some of this,
you are our first one.
Yes,
Great.
to start asking some of these questions.
No pressure.
I know, right? Some are yes or no. Some are, it's just depending on how much you want to get with dialect and things like that. The first one, I think we kind of already covered this, but what is your favorite adult site?
Oh, shh. He's got the ramp people around.
I'm gonna
pass.
Gonna have to say. I know. I'm just thinking, what's my favorite site? I don't give a shit about them. Yeah, my life's over. Right? There's no hope for me. Honestly, I, and this is the God honest truth. Like, and there's nobody else around right now. Like, I don't watch a lot of porn. I don't. I mean, I don't. Like, I remember back in the day when you're the kid and, they had like the blurry lines and you tried to like,
pay-per-view,
like see a boob or something, and you got all excited and shit like that. And then I actually knew some friends that were on that like couch casting one, the backroom couch casting. So that was really fucking awkward watching that shit.
Girls or the guys?
No, girl.
No,
right, yeah.
good,
like the originals, like, some of the original ones.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and so that was kind of fucking awkward. And I don't know, man. I don't think I could like have a friend and then just, hey, what you do Saturday night? I don't know, suck some dude's dick on a camera, like $1,200. It's never gonna go anywhere. No one will ever see it. It's just like, yeah, wait till I pass this around at the bar. Okay, people will see the shit. No, but yeah, I really don't. Honestly, God honest truth, I really don't. Every now and then, like, there's fucking Game of Thrones on, and there's shit. There you go, HBO, whatever HBO and Skinamax have on.
Nice.
Yeah.
This next question, we have a running skit on the show. We've been around a couple of years, and before we started really implementing guests on the show, we started making fun of some conspiracies. One conspiracy out there is Australia real? A couple of our episodes, we did have a couple people from Australia on, similar like this, video conferencing, and we literally asked them that question.
If Australia was real.
Yes. and
basically
their
flat earther thoughts.
Yeah. Their surprise, their what answers, I guess, was a little off key, but if the flat earther conspiracy is true, do you think that Australia is a real place? And you kind of got to think it through, right? You got to fly on a plane for 18 hours. At some point, you're going to fall asleep. Do you really go to Australia?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that was good. That was a good way to set that up.
Well, then where else do you go?
Well, shit, I don't know. Argentina?
I mean, okay, because like you could fake the moon, right? Like you could fake landing on the moon. Okay, I could get that, right? But how are you gonna fake It's got to be real, bro. Come on, dude. This is bullshit. Like, it's got to be real. You guys
Is this making you think a little bit? Because maybe.
No, I'm just thinking, how could you logistically get millions of people in buildings in one place and then just be like, hey, like, pretend to be, pretend to be Australian, when Shortbus comes to town, like. So then you got to ask yourself, who liberated them in World War II? All our soldiers went over there, right? Are you guys fucking with me, dude?
That's good. I like it.
No, that's a great answer. We haven't heard an answer that way presented to us that way. So you're like, no, it's fake, or it's not
from a non-person who says they live there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, it's always been my dream to go to Australia.
Me too. I hope I go there, but yeah, I want to go too. One day.
Where did Tim Bateman come from? Tim Bateman's from Australia.
Thor.
Now, you just mentioned the moon and faking a landing on the moon. This is going to be a weird segue, I guess, but if you had the opportunity, which if Elon Musk has his way, it seems like it's going to be sooner than later. It was just you got one ticket. Would you take a one-way trip to Mars?
Fuck yes. You don't even have to finish. Like, I would be like, hell yeah. Like, I'm out of here, bro. Like, because you got to think about it this way too. It's like, not only am I the first disabled person in space, I'm also the first crippled on Mars. So, if I get to Mars first, right, and the Martians are actually there, they're going to think that all humans are crippled. And then I could be like, ha ha ha, fuck you walkers, we won. And then I could talk the Martians into, like, taking over you assholes.
Oh, nice.
That is hilarious.
You would want to be on the first flight there, because I'm wondering, like, there's not going to be any ramps. It's going to be a shitty terrain for you.
Oh, no, I'm going to be stuck. I'm going to die, like, day one.
You're going to have like, an actual rover.
Yeah, right, exactly. Or one of the, like a helipack or some shit.
Yeah, that then.
But,
you're just you're floating the whole time.
Yeah, just going.
That makes sense.
Yeah, dude. I'm so down. Like, I even tweeted Elon Musk earlier before this that they were like, he put that Neuralink thing in the monkey, right? And it was playing Pong with its brain. Did you guys see that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's got a company called Neuralink, right? And they put a chip in a pig's brain, and it was predicting its movements before it moved. And then he just put a chip in a monkey's brain that they're playing Pong, right, with his brain, and he's moving the screen. And he tweeted something about Neuralink will be putting people with paralysis, and they'll be able to text faster than somebody using their hand with their mind. And I tweeted back, I call bullshit. Let me try.
Let me try. Please send me.
Let me be first. Yeah. Put that shit in, like, my head, make my legs work so I can run as far away as possible.
To the flame. Desert.
Yeah. Past the flame, bro.
Fuck the desert flame.
Yeah, right.
Now we did talk about the Australia being one of our conspiracies. You have a favorite conspiracy that you like to ponder on or talk about or anything like that?
I think the one. I mean, I don't know if it's so much a conspiracy anymore because it's starting to come out, right? Because, I'm just saying, it's starting to come out, like, the whole, extraterrestrials, aliens, and, it's now, okay, so I grew up, super religious, right? Like, in a Bible church and, church every Sunday, Christian school. It's probably why I'm so fucked up right now. But you're taught like God created everything, right? And heavens and earth and everything like that. And I'm not saying he didn't, but there's some things where you're just kind of like, how could they have done this, right? Like, if it wasn't for extraterrestrials, I mean, it just like, I don't know.
It seems like there's got to be some kind of intervention, whether that be divine or not. There is some type of intervention that is not man-made.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you look at some of the, and that's probably another reason why I'm so messed up from the pandemic. I watched a lot of Ancient Aliens. But you watch it, and then I started watching other shit. I'm glad I didn't go down like the giant conspiracy rabbit hole. Like there was a couple things where I was just kind of like, I kind of like to troll people a little bit with them. Like the Bobulinski, like the Bobulinski thing that came out, and it's just like, but he has proof. He's got these text messages, and just kind of like just messing with people. But that whole QAnon shit,
So to piggyback off of that question, do you think it's weird though now that the government's now trying to say that UFOs are real? Like they're coming out and saying like, oh yeah, we've seen things, and like they're putting reports out. Like it's almost making it more like almost legit.
They're setting it up.
Yeah,
they're setting it up because they can't. They're
getting ready.
Yeah, they couldn't do it. I mean, they could get away with it back before social media and the internet, right? Like before social media and the internet, you might see like a newspaper story or something, or have
3 days later
some crazy drunk uncle who thought he saw like a UFO, and you're just like, all right, Uncle Buzz is drunk again, But now with social media and everything, but Elon Musk, like I was listening to when he was talking about it, he was kind of like, it's kind of crazy how like with the cameras that we have and cell phones, like all the pictures of UFOs are still shit.
That is
right?
True.
Other than the radar, So that's kind of weird. So like you think about like that, but then. Now you got internet, you got social media, you got these shows that, people are hooked on. But
though, to combat that argument about the cell phones, how come when I see we have a super moon or a blue moon or a red moon or whatever moon is out there, it's gigantic in my peripheral. But when I go to take my phone, it is still non-existent. So did they really make phone cameras better?
Oh, Mark's mad at Apple. What's that sound like?
Somebody forgot his password.
Yeah, someone's locked out of his phone right now. I know how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. You're asking the wrong guy this question.
No, I mean,
I sit 3 feet high. Everything in my peripheral is like gigantic. Yeah, no, hell no. Could you imagine if I was though? Like, shit. Could you imagine that survey? Yeah. You imagine, like, take my survey after the call, right? And the guy's just like, honey, there's no button for couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying. Like, what do I do? Give him a 5.
Send him back to the Indian guy.
Yeah, right.
Send me back to the Indian guy. I don't understand what he's saying.
Yeah. No, but God bless handicapped people that get out there and do jobs. So I'm not, but I mean, I think if I did it that way, I would try and make it through a whole call, but I don't think I could. I would probably laugh too hard. Like
that actually brings me to my next question.
Yeah, good. We're off of the whole what's peripheral, what's big in your eyes.
Camera fucking top.
Yeah.
If you weren't doing comedy right now, or your career was comedy, what do you think would be the alternate? Like, what's the alternate universe Shortbus doing?
you know, I I thought about that like growing up. Like what am I gonna do? Because I mean, it's not like I could be a roofer, or fucking lift shit at Home Depot. So it was kind of trying to think of what would I be good at, right? How could I make a living so I could be independent? And then I'd always toss out like ideas of, I want to be a lawyer, because I love arguing. I love like finding lies in people, you know what I mean? Like I love finding that shit, and I love movies like that. So that was one of them. Like I actually went to ASU for radio and TV broadcasting. So I kind of wanted to do radio, with like Holmberg and those guys, and then or on TV, like sports, or or just being a disabled anchor, right? Like it was the dumbest thing ever. I mean, and then one time I wanted to be a kicking coach.
Stop it.
I literally asked an AC coach. No, I literally asked an AC football coach. I was probably like 8 or 9, right?
So you
and
were,
I had
you
one
were
of those...
ready for comedy then.
Yeah, pretty much. But I was like 8 or 9, and I used to go back to where like the players would come out after the games and like get autographs and stuff like that. So I kind of would see the coaches every week and talk to them, and they talked to me. And so I remember one time I was like, I'm gonna ask him if I could be the first disabled kicking coach, right? Because I was like, I can't do anything else, right? But my legs don't work either. So I mean, it's like, what? He just like looked at me like, yeah, sure, buddy, follow your dreams, reach for the stars. Sorry about that. You can't get your arms up. I would.
God, and then you would like show like how you should kick, like do like
like spin my chair around.
Yeah. Why aren't you doing this?
We're gonna tie some. I got a plan that's gonna help every kicker be the best. I'm gonna tie weights to their legs, like just stupid. But I think doing like motivational speaking and things like that. I like speaking for like AA meetings. I don't know, like I love being on stage. I think a lot of people thought I was gonna follow like in my dad and my brother's footsteps, and become like a pastor and have a church and stuff like that. And it's probably what I should have done. I probably could have helped a lot more people. But that wasn't my path, and so I think if I can help people like in some way or another, then I'd be happy. I mean, I've had a lot of great experiences, I mean, right out of high school, I was working for the Arizona Cardinals, for 5 years. So it was kind of like, cool, this is great. I'm like working in sports, so I've experienced that, and it wasn't great. Kick. I mean, it had its moments. Yeah, teaching them how to kick. Yeah.
Wow. Shit, man. No wonder they were making field goals.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's good.
Now, you just mentioned you spoke, or you have spoken in front of AA meetings and things like that, and I don't know if this might be a little touchy or not. It's just depending. If you don't want to talk about it, feel free to just tell me to shut up.
Fuck you.
Yeah. The last time that we heard you on KUPD, it seemed like there was something going on, right? And essentially they had gotten you off the air when you showed up. Did that trigger going to AA and things like that, or like have you been going to AA for a while, or can you give us more detail?
Yeah. For a while I was really embarrassed about it. I think it was more of just a kind of, for people who are listening who don't know me, so for a long time I was battling like severe depression, right? And it was, it was almost like I was using my disability as a crutch to, like, you know, when people would say like, oh, well, you know, he's in a wheelchair, I drink too, you know, it's like, hell yeah, that means I can drink and do whatever, you know, the hell I want. And, you know, I was doing comedy, and it was like a party every weekend, you know, and it was traveling a lot, you know, and, you know, it just kind of grew and got worse over time. And then, you know, instead of being the funny disabled comic, I was turning into like the drunk disabled comic. And, you know, so, but at that time I was so far into it that I just didn't care, you know. It's kind of like, you know, I'll do what I'm good. I'll do what I do. You know, you all worry about yourselves, you know, but then they're the ones that are picking me up and putting me back in my chair. And, you know, so it was very hard, you know, the depression and things just grew. And, you know, at the time, my fiance and I, to preface it, my whole life being disabled, all I wanted was to have a family. Right? Like, I remember like telling my mom as a kid, like growing up, and like we would pray at night, like, you know, that I would meet someone and I'd be able to have kids of my own, because I just wanted to be a normal person, right? And when I got into college, I realized that shit wasn't real, you know, like it was a lot of, you know, waking up, you know, and realizing that the world doesn't give, you know, shit about it. You know, you're just another disabled person, right? And, you know, so it just grew over time, the depression and, you know, stuff like that. And so my fiance, we found out she was pregnant, and so I was like so excited. I was the happiest guy in the world, you know. And then unfortunately she miscarried, and the day we found out was the night before I was supposed to go into the radio to promote a show.
Yeah.
So we obviously were like very heartbroken. You know, I was drinking heavily all like night. I should have stayed home, but you know, when you think you're a functioning alcoholic, you're not a functioning alcoholic, right? Like, you know, when you trick yourself to think, oh yeah, I can get through, you know, this interview, and they'll just think I'm wacky or whatever, you know, and then you find out you're not. So yeah, I went in and I was drunk, and it was on the air, and they originally asked me to leave, and then Holmberg brought me back on, and then I think just a lot of like the emotions and the alcohol and everything just collided, you know, and I had a meltdown. I mean, I'm human, you know, I have feelings too, and you know, it was wrong of me to go in there and waste their time, but in the end, it ended up being one of the best things that happened to me, because that night, I mean, we're talking like that night, a lot of people don't know, so that night after that radio show and everything, like I literally wrote like a note to my fiance that says, you have permission to kill me with this knife, right? Like, slit my throat, I don't care, I'm done, right? And so, you know, thank God she didn't. But yeah, I went to rehab that night. I went to the hospital that night. And, you know, I got, you know, clean and sober, and, you know, just staying straight, you know, and but yeah, I mean, we actually went back on about a year after, or 6 months or so. Both me and her went on Holmberg, and you know, we talked about it and addressed it, and you know, and I love those guys to death, you know. I mean, in a sick, twisted fucking way, like Holmberg saved my life, you know. I'll never tell him that, so edit this shit out. I'm joking. Mm-hmm. And I'd been fighting. Yeah, I'd been fighting it for a long time, you know, and that was like the second time like I went to rehab, because I had gone to rehab before that and then relapsed, and then, that's when all that stuff happened. And so I mean, sometimes your worst moments end up being the best moments of your life in the end. Looking back, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. I'm just kidding. So that's basically what happened, and so I'm thankful to them, and I've gotten a lot of support from his listeners, just people that I think I could tell truly care about me, even though I don't know them. I felt like I was a part of their, and I wasn't on every day. It was like once every other few months or whatever, but I still have people now, like you said, recognize me, or I have people hear me talk and they're just like, hey, are you Shortbus? Like, dude, my neighbor next door like shit a kitten when he found out who I was. Like, it was the weirdest thing. I swear to God, you guys, he literally, when I moved in, he was talking to me, and he he was asking me what I do, and I started talking about comedy, and then I said, yeah, I was doing. He's like, hey, you ever listen to Holmberg? I listen to them every day, and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, yeah, that guy Shortbus? And he's like, yeah, I love that guy. I go, yeah, that's me. He's like, holy shit. Like, swear to God. He's like, are you hiding from your fans out here? Is that why you moved? And I'm like, yeah, that's definitely it, bro. But no, it's nice. It really helped lift me, in my tough times. It was, I had to repair a lot of burned bridges. But
that story, your story though, is very inspiring. I mean, it should, for those listening, and if they're in a spot like that, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to make.
Yeah, I mean it. You just gotta accept it to do it. I mean, you have to. Not what I want to say. You have to be open to do it, because a lot of times I'll get text messages from people and just be like, dude, I want to quit. How did you do it? And, and then I ask them the normal questions, like, how much do you drink? How often do you drink? Because if a friend of mine's like, I'm drinking 10 drinks a day, every day, then I'm like, hey, you want to quit? You need to go to the hospital first. You need to detox. Yeah, and so then they kind of yeah, well, I'll think about it, and I'll ask them. I'll be like, are you drunk right now? That's the main thing I ask. Are you drunk right now? Because we always want to quit when we're drunk. When we just made an ass out of ourselves at the bar and got kicked out, we all want to quit. It's like, where's the AA meeting? My neighbor tried to quit. He goes to AA, gets the chips, right? Like, he does, but he, still drinks. Yeah, every day.
Is he trying to build his poker collection?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And that program helps a lot of people. Some people either they think it's too religious or whatever. And, for me, it's almost like free therapy. Because I can go in there and I mean, shit. It's not like people are gonna know who I am if they know me. It's not like I can go in a different wheelchair and somebody's like, "Is that a Shortbus over there?" No, it's a different chair. Yeah. Well, it's funny when I was an alcoholic, and I'd always watch Intervention, right?
Oh.
But then instead of being like, I don't want to go down that way, I was more like, well, I'm not really drinking motor oil yet. I think I'm good. Yeah, maybe I'm not that bad of an alcoholic. Yeah. I'm not a hand sanitizer. No.
We're in shortage now, so you can't.
Right. So, I lost my thought. I would always think I'm not that bad, right? But you are, and it's when I realized it was just destroying my family, and losing the thing I love doing most, which is performing. It was like I gotta get. I mean, I was almost dead. I was like 50 enzymes away from cirrhosis.
Wow.
Like, I was literally on that line where they were like, you drink again, you're gonna die, right? And so that doesn't wake you up. Then I went and bought a lotto ticket. I lost.
Well, I do apologize for derailing the fun times.
No, it's good. No, I want to talk about this. I mean, I love talking about this because it's not this. A lot of people get I think they think of me in a different way because it's like it's almost like they're expecting you to be on all the time, right? Like sometimes I'll get asked to do a podcast and they'll think I'm coming in doing this wacky bullshit, and then I'll flip it on them and just be like, hey, let's talk about real shit. Like, I mean, why mental health isn't being addressed, especially in the comedian world right now, is, I mean, dude, we're all assholes. I mean, seriously. I mean, the reason we do comedy is because we either hate our lives or we're fucked up in the head, right?
Yeah.
And then you take that away from comics. It's like taking away people's heroin. I mean, you're taking away people's drugs. And I've seen a lot of comics, crack. And, you saw guys who were ODing and, committing suicide and things like that. And why people aren't really speaking out about it and just pretending like it's not there. It's pretty sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad because last thing I want to see is one of my good comic friends die because, nobody offered to help, or, they just expected them to be just, funny all the time. But I mean, I think it's, I don't think people, I think because they see us on stage for 15 minutes and that's all they think and see us and know us as. But
until they see something in the news.
Exactly. We're just. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't mean to stop the conversation, the great conversation that we're having. Actually, this entire thing has been a great time.
What was that?
But we got to start wrapping everything up with the show. Shortbus, if you could just tell us, where can we follow
the
you?
Conversation.
Where do we get our own chair?
Probably still
where are you going to be next?
There you go. No, he's still talking. You don't even know he's froze.
Oh! I was froze that whole time?
You were frozen the whole time. When you tried to shut me down, God said you cannot do this to a disabled person.
Oh, the whole time. Wow.
The whole time. Last thing we heard was, hate to cut this shut.
All right, sounds good. Again, appreciate that you came on, man.
This has been the Amigos PC. Make sure to like, subscribe, and review us on all your podcasting platforms. Visit us at amigospc.net for our entire library of content and Amigos merch. Till next time, adios.